and you are along for the ride with myself, Lauren Mad Dog Morel, and hey, you are along for the ride with Mad Dog Morel, the Mad Dog with the Mad Dog, and Cole, the Iron Man, Farrell.
47 episodes is 46 more than I thought we would do.
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Along for the Ride. This is a very special episode, the long-anticipated episode 47, full of clips, highlights, disasters, all sorts of interesting things we could throw together in one giant combination of an episode. And before we get any farther, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Cole Farrell, and I am the producer on this show. Your lovely host, Mad Dog, doesn't know I'm recording this without him, so I will bring him on later, and we will get all of his reactions to the last year of podcasting, having some amazing guests on, getting some ridiculous clips, and get a little behind the scenes of what actually goes down here at the show, because if it was live, I can guarantee you we'd be off the air probably episode 1. So I would like to take a quick moment, thank all of our listeners, whether you're new or old. Thank you for coming along for the ride with us. It has been 46 awesome episodes, this making the 47th. We have seen an absolute ton of growth in the last year, so thank you for everyone who streams it, downloads it, shares it with a friend, shares it with a coworker. Lauren and I have just seen those numbers jump up astronomically over the last year, and it cannot be more humbling and motivating, so thank you. Also would like to give a quick shout out to our partners, Kicker Performance Audio, Bomber Floating Eyewear, the Premix Podcast, and of course Kelsey Morel Films. Let's get right into it. So right off the bat, a lot of people ask me this, and I actually wasn't anticipating it, but a lot of people ask what the introduction sound effects are, and that's actually kind of a cool answer. That is all personal footage from both Lauren and I. The first sound you hear of the two competing sports cars is actually Lauren standing in a corner of an IMSA race he was working at Road Atlanta. Some of the other sound effects are pretty cool, pretty personal to me. One of them is the last start I ever did at Paris Raceway. One is my KX500 idling in the driveway, and another is a epic battle of Class 5 Unlimited cars at Glen Helen. Of course, we wish we could take credit for the Evel Knievel interview, but it's too inspiring to not put in the show. So for better or for worse, Lauren gives me a nickname every single week, and every single week it's unique and on the spot. Some are more flattering than others, but I have picked a few of my favorites. So good luck, Lauren, coming up with 47 more.
You are along for the ride with the Mad Dog and Cole Trickle Dickle Farrell, and Cole the Sandmaster Farrell, and Cole Sir Mix-a-Lot Farrell, and Cole I can't get no satisfaction Farrell, and Cole I got 2 number 1 plates Farrell, and Cole Kit Kat Farrell, and Cole hey Farrell.
Indeed, some are more family-friendly than others. For everyone's sake, the show is not live, and there's some freedom in that. Here's a clip from the very first thing we ever recorded at Along for the Ride.
Hey, Mad Dog here, welcome. That sucked.
I know what you're thinking. After all this time, you guys must have got it together. Nope. Here's a clip from episode 46.
We don't all got to fly through the air, but we should all take time to live. All right, here we go.
Sometimes recording this show, the hardest thing to fight, hands down, are the ADD moments. Here's an example from episode 42 with Mia Chapman.
What, Cole? Oh, I thought you were going to say something. I wasn't going to cut you off.
Oh,
All
no,
right.
no, no, we're fine. But there's literally a crow sitting at my window right now making a ton of noise. So that's why I muted
Oh,
myself.
oh, okay.
We're
I
good.
was like, what's wrong?
And that's why we're not live because of crows. No,
Am I blowing you out or something? I
no, you're
didn't touch.
good. Sorry.
I
Sorry,
swear I
sorry,
didn't
sorry
touch
to
them.
get your ADD going.
It happens. It happens. All right. Cut and
Action.
wait, where were we?
Talking about Red Bull
Solstice.
Solstice.
Yeah, okay. All right. Man, we are way off track. Good
It
Lord.
happens when I come on for interviews. I go everywhere.
I know I've listened to a bunch of your shows with Jim and it's just a good time.
That conversation would go on for another 18 minutes, completely off topic. Ironically, Lauren's computer crashed right after the interview, and we almost lost the entire episode. Want to hear a fun stat? When I was putting this episode together, I found the world's longest Lauren monologue. It definitely doesn't sound bad, and it's definitely on topic, but in one of the episodes, Lauren talks for 10 minutes and 32 seconds without letting me talk. That man knows how to run a podcast.
Howdy. That's dumb.
I am not going to sugarcoat it. There are definitely episodes that are harder to record than others. Sometimes this doesn't even get recorded till 10:30 at night. And sometimes it feels like there's not enough caffeine in the world to keep going. But you better believe I think about this clip every time I get a little tired on the show. This is from the Dunefest episode.
Yeah, it's kind of like, as you know, you get up there, it's kind of like being a.
Oh, did you see that?
I saw that. Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to get the YouTube channel going.
Yeah,
'Cause this stuff
I
is
was
gonna
trying to
be
hide a
great.
yawn so hard.
Just yawn, bro. If I'm boring you, just give me the like.
No, you're not boring me. It's just been a long day. Not as long as your day,
Oh
but I'm
no,
not as tough as you.
today hasn't been that bad, really. It's been this probably out of all the days at Doomfest, this is probably one of the easier ones. I mean, I was wrapped by like 2 o'clock today, so
Yeah, so that's a
seven.
quarter day for you. Okay.
Yeah, about that. 7 a.m. out and wrap it up. So
Whether we're recording from our homes or recording on the road, all of it comes with its own set of challenges. As I try to record this right now, there's a weed whacker outside. Check out this clip from episode 6.
I've got to know him and spend some time with him, and it's going to be a good time for sure. So
Very excited to have Wes on.
yeah. Do you have background noise?
Oh, yeah. Okay, hang on. All right, we'll cut this. Don't worry, we'll make this good.
Yeah.
How bad was it when you were just talking right there? Was it pretty bad?
Sounded like drawer slamming or something.
Fucking trash truck outside.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Along for the ride. We're gonna go along for the ride. I have broken more ribs multiple times than I can count, I think. I have broken, of course, broken / ripped in half my sternum.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. I know I broke, I think I counted once, and with all the multiple times certain bones like ribs and fingers and stuff have been broken, I think it was like 147 broken bones.
Over the 47 episodes, we've had some incredible guests on, each with their own unique story to tell. This upcoming clip ended up being very impactful in my own life, and it's something that I think about quite often. Check out this clip from episode 8 with Wes Kane, where he talks about his legendary charity work with his best friend, Vanilla Ice.
Me and Rob have a charity that we do. We go. It was crazy. We know a lot of people, so we were hooked up with a radio station. This is going back 15 years. We met a radio DJ, and they wanted to do like a block party. So Rob was like, okay, well, what are we going to do? And then I'm coming up with me being a Marine. I'm like, so why don't we have the charity? We'll do this block party and we'll collect toys for kids, toys for tots. So I think the first year we collected maybe 100 toys. Within 10 years, we're filling a semi or two full of toys at this block party. And we started going on Christmas Eve to the hospital with leftover toys, because when the Marines have to have the toys by a certain amount of time. We're still getting toys in. And Rob's like, hey, we got to give these toys. We'll go to hospitals. Me and him would drive through neighborhoods that you wouldn't go through, and we would give the kids out toys. We give them toys. So the first year we go to the Children's Hospital in Wellington, and Rob is big with Make-A-Wish Foundation and so forth. He's like, dude, we're going in. And so we start going in these rooms, and these kids are terminal. They're terminal. They're 5, 6, 7, 10, 15. They're terminal. And we go in there and we walk in and they see them, and then they see me, and we're giving them toys. Well, me, the big mush, I go out in the hallway and I'm bawling. I'm bawling my eyes out because these kids got smiling just like you are right now. Yeah. They're just smiling, and I know they're terminal. Yeah. Like they're just could be their last Christmas. So Rob comes out and he goes, hey, dude. He goes, you got to get back in there. He goes, I know you're a tough guy. He goes, I know. He goes, but you got to get back in there. Can't let these kids see you like that. And I'm thinking, okay, this Vanilla Ice telling me I got to get tough, and we've known each other since, because Rob used to come and ride race when in Miami before, back in the 80s when he was younger and I was a little older. So we met way back then. So he's telling me, you got to get back in there. These kids need you. So I'm just bawling because I got my own kids, and I'm thinking about how lucky I am, but how these kids are smiling and so happy right now that it doesn't matter what's good to them. They're enjoying their life. And that gave me another perspective about living and doing things. To see those kids that know that they're terminal, dude, they ain't getting out of there.
Yep.
They could last 6 months, a year. That's their home, that hospital bed. And you know what? It made me different. It made me like, hey, I am lucky, and I've got to give back, and I've got to make people happy. When skies are gray, you got to be sunshine.
Yep.
And we do that every year. We go to that hospital and we see those kids on Christmas Eve. There ain't nothing more important than that.
Wow.
And if you get a person, and I talk to people, I go, you think you got problems? Christmas Eve, you see me, you're going to go for a ride with me and Ice, and you're going to see something that what you got going on ain't nothing compared to what you're about to see and do. So that's why when you see me, you don't see me with chips down.
Right.
Because we are blessed, man. Every day we get to do what we want.
Yep. 100% true.
Life experiences right there. And we believe in karma. We believe in giving back. We believe in treat somebody how you want to be treated.
Yep.
I believe in yes, sir, yes, ma'am, still. Whether you're younger than me, I'll still open doors for people. I still, believe you reap what you sow.
There's nothing better on earth than racing. The only thing that can make it better is enjoying it with your family and friends. Check out this clip of Scotty Dubler talking about his grandma at the races in episode 14.
Yeah, no, it was a great time. And really, one of the real highlights, because this is coming, was Graham was there.
Graham definitely was there. So it's funny, but she is a diehard race fan. So she doesn't want to miss anything. So we had to be there early, early, early. I mean, she lives down in Sun City in the wintertime. And the joke in the Dubler side of the family is that she has the keys to the water truck because we have to be there as soon as the gates open because she's got to give the keys to the water truck driver so they can start watering the track. So she can get her seat picked out. Anyway, so she didn't want to leave the building floor. So when they kicked everybody out at 5 o'clock or whatever time, the practice was over and the amateur qualifying was over. Well, she got to sit down there with the arena or the endurocross workers. Julie and Karen were down there, and then I went and found you, and you actually, I want to say thank you to you and the Striking Viking for taking the time out of your day to come down to the other end just to meet Graham because she knows you just from seeing you at Flat Track, but so she could talk to you and meet your lovely wife. I just want to say thanks for doing that, and because she wants to know everybody and everything. She wants to know what's going on and why you're there and what kicker audio is and stuff like that. I mean, that's just her. She wants to know what's going on.
Yeah, I think I met her. Was she at the OKC mile?
Yeah. They live in Oklahoma. Yeah, they live in Oklahoma City in the summertime, and so the Oklahoma City was. And then she goes down to the Texas half mile at Texas Motor Speedway. She's been down there. I don't know if you went to that one or not. And then she's at Springfield, so she goes to quite a few of them still. Not as many as she would like to, but Paul likes it better when he can stay and watch it on Fans Choice because he can hear me better. Some of the racetracks you can't hear the announcer over the speakers, and so he likes being able to hear me better. So if I could figure out a way to make it where he could hear me the whole time, he'd probably want to be at every race too.
But that whole race thing runs deep in your blood because I was watching the amateurs. She was engaged, dude.
And she doesn't have a favorite racer per se anymore. Like her favorite racer was Ricky Graham. He passed away, and she loved Ronnie Jones. He races every once in a while, but she cheers for all of them, and she wants to have a safe race. And she'll if there's a race for second, she'll be cheering for both of them. It doesn't matter as long as they're having a good race. And sometimes she'll get up on her feet and she shakes her fists at them and stuff like that. I mean, not being mad or not being hateful, but she just cheers them on. And like I said, she didn't want to miss one single race up there at Prescott Valley, and endurocross is new to her. She went there last year for the first time, and now she kind of follows along. She's 90 years old. She's on Instagram, and she follows, everybody on Instagram, and she kind of tells me what's going on.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's man, such like she's just a gem, and thanks for shouting us out. But I told the Viking, I'm like, baby, Graham's here. You gotta come meet Graham. This lady is an icon. I mean, like, and so I was excited to introduce her, and of course you met the Viking before,
right,
a few times. So it's always, she just loves the racing family, and to meet Graham, she was like, wow, that's so cool. And I think we walked out to watch some of the amateur racing, and we looked down, and Graham's sitting down there in her little VIP corner there,
Mm-hmm.
and even the Viking was like, man, she's not missing a thing. I'm like, no, she's probably calling the race in her head.
Probably so. That's probably where I get it from. I don't think she left her seat. Maybe she went to the bathroom when they kicked everybody out at 5. But I finally went up there and I said, did you eat anything? She's like, no. So I went back and got a couple of cookies and a bottle of water. I'm like, Graham, we've been here since like 2. I said, we're not going to leave here probably till like 10. I said, you got to have some kind of substance. And she goes, well, I just don't want to miss anything. I'm like, there's going to be another race right after that one, I promise you. But no, Graham's awesome, and she watches Dirt Vision, she watches NASCAR. She, we got out to. Well, I got to her house out in Sun City. We turned on the TV. The internet wasn't working, so we stole the internet from the neighbor, and we streamed a World of Outlaw late model race. I'm like, it's just like she just doesn't want to miss nothing. If there's a race on, it's gonna be on her computer, on her phone, or on her TV, or both. She might have the World of Outlaws going on one, and she might have Supercross going on something else, or whatever. And it's just all racing. I mean, flat track, of course, is her passion too, just because she grew up in it, and all four of her kids raced and two of her grandkids and her husband raced. So flat track's it for her. And she can tell you stories after stories, and Pa can too, about back in the day. And I remember a trip not that long ago. We drove to Ohio. It was one of his first, maybe early on in my announcing career, and I had to get myself to the races, and things change and people pick up travel different ways. So me and Graham and Pa hopped in the car, just a little bitty car, and drove all the way from Oklahoma City to Lima, Ohio. Well, you're looking at 15 hours, and I never heard the same story twice. And I remember hearing about a race in 1968, and Pa was running this bike, and he had this tire on the front and this tire on the rear, and he had a 15 front sprocket and a 48 rear sprocket, and he was running third gear, and he was chasing down so-and-so, and so-and-so was behind him. I'm like, I can't remember what I ate for dinner yesterday, but you can remember what happened, 54 years ago or whatever, however long. I'm like, just the knowledge that they have, and the memory that they have of things, and maybe there's too much going on in our brains today, and there's too much available on our cell phones that we can look at and we forget things. Or I'm not making excuses, but I'm just saying, things change, but the memories that the generation before us, Mad Dog, have is amazing. And we've a few people have recorded some of Pa's stories, and he doesn't know it. He's probably gonna know it now because they're gonna listen to this podcast. But just to have some of those stories and just those memories of their races back in the day, and just it's incredible, how much they both love racing still, and they're 90 and 91 years old.
Now enjoy this clip of Lauren's brain completely sparking out.
So, yeah. Oh, man. The opening, we'll have some cut. Hey, stay tuned. Yeah, that sucks.
Some of the coolest off-record conversations we have actually happen before the show even airs. And one of the first guests we had early on was Jim Beaver. Jim holds a special place in my heart because he is the reason I even know podcasts exist. It was the late 2000s, and I heard that somebody was recording the radio and airing it, talking about off-road racing and off-road lifestyle. From then on, I was addicted to Jim Beaver's Down and Dirty show, and because he was the first podcaster I'd ever heard of, I had to name him the Podfather. If he wasn't already, Jim Beaver would go on to become an off-road icon. The man has raced, coordinated, and emceed some of the biggest off-road events in the world. And of course, he would go on to have a syndicated television show. Unfortunately, it didn't make it on our show, but check out this clip where he talks about his humble beginnings.
I sound a lot better now that I've followed the advice of the great Jim Beaver, and my wife and kids actually got me the audio interface and the headset.
Oh, nice.
For my birthday. So I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. So
I've got this one normally, like when I'm doing voiceovers and everything, I've got this huge,
wow.
Yeah, so it's rad, but it's like for stuff like this, it's just this big ball in the screen, and it's
right.
Just, so I put on these headsets. But yeah, if you're ever looking, there's these things, there's these balls, like if you have a real mic, and it's the coolest technology. It's just this big foam ball, and it slides over your microphone, and then it's got a pop shield on it. But basically, nice. It basically replicates a quiet room. So the entire microphone is surrounded in foam, and then you just have the little pop screen. So it literally, these people try and do these silent studios with like sealed doors. Literally, you can buy $150. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it literally slips over the mic and replicates you spending all this money to make a quiet room. So it's actually the raddest piece of tech, and it's very simple, but it works phenomenally.
Wow, that's cool. If we ever get to that point, that is something that's, see, you're always dropping like little nuggets of gold on me. I'm like, what's next? So,
well, you don't want to know how much the microphone costs. It's under it. So
yeah, I'm sure.
I bought that, and I was like, I never would have thought I would be buying a 4-figure microphone, but I was getting enough. I was doing enough TV recording and stuff that I needed a proper microphone to do voiceovers and stuff. But
yeah, that's you got to have you got to have the right equipment if you're going to do the job effectively, and so we're trying to get there step by step.
I saved this. This is what I started my radio show on.
Wow, that's cool.
Wow.
It was $19.99 at Walmart, my first radio show. The foam's all falling apart, but I keep it in the drawer as a reminder. And literally it just plugs in like with these into your laptop, and that's what I started my radio show on. So
nice.
You're way ahead of where I was at already, but I saved that as a reminder. $20 at Walmart started this whole thing. So
that's crazy. We're very fortunate to have guys like you we can go, hey, what is our best money spent here, so and get good advice that it's not like, oh yeah, go buy the $16 Amazon choice one, it's the good real information. So that's very much appreciative. So
always been one where I've always wanted, shows like yours and anybody that can help along the way. Just, I've made so many mistakes, and somehow things have turned out all right. But I'm like, if I can slow the learning curve for anybody, it's like, a healthy, your guys' show or George Hamler, whoever pops up, it's just good for the industry. You know what I mean? So
sure.
Like, whatever I can do to help, bring anybody along. I mean, any media our industry gets is good media. Well, I can't say that, but I mean, for the most part.
I know. Yeah, we know what you're doing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So
I promise I do not get starstruck easily. That being said, we had Destry Abbott as a guest. I was nervous going into it, obviously, and Lauren didn't make that any easier. Here's a clip of Lauren embarrassing me in front of my childhood hero.
The other accolade that I have to throw out that I know Cole won't was there's two things. One, you are pretty much the reason that Cole decided to race KX 500s.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
That is true. That is true. What's
nice,
that?
Cole, I'm stoked to hear about that.
Yeah, no. I mean, who doesn't love the snow shovel bikes,
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they have the big scoop rear fender, and oh, yeah, I got plenty of time on that bad girl. And every now and then, I know we're jumping around, but every now and then, I'll take a spin on a KX 500. I actually don't have my championship bike. It's actually back in a museum now back east, and it's got a lot of one-off parts. On the last year, we got a lot of factory parts, and it was cool. But every now and then I'll jump on one, and it's fun, but it's actually scarier riding it nowadays versus like, my KTM 300 or 350 and they're dual sports, it's like, holy crap, they were a lot of work and you had to really finesse those bikes. So yeah.
They definitely have personality. Even I can say that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He even had, I believe he even told me one time he had your poster on his wall.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Gonna throw me under the bus. Like, yes, I did.
I dig it. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. That's respect there.
Well, it was signed for what it's worth. I still have that picture burned in my brain. It's you're coming out of a left-hander and you kind of got your boot up, and obviously you're on the 500. So
yeah. That's cool. I love the 500. Every now and then I go back and I try to find some old photos. Back in my prime, we didn't have the content as they do now with iPhones and all that. And I'm like, that was back in black and white days. No, I'm joking.
Do the show when he gets back from Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, that's going on right meow.
Abu Dhabi. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Huge respect for our first responders. Don't start laughing.
Okay,
God
watch.
dang it.
What up, Cole?
Good to see you, Nick.
Yeah, you too. Oh.
Later, Nick.
And Cole is desert racing.
Because they're all my accolades.
There you go. hey, you know what? We're both part of the Brokeback Club, so
Yeah, right. Not the coolest name, but it is what it is.
Well, I think that kind of got a bad rap a few years ago. A special movie, right?
Right.
Would you crash over the mountain? Broke my back on the mountain. Brokeback Mountain over there. Me and my buddy were hanging out.
Got it, biatch. Ooh, don't fall.
It was no big deal. Just I drove a trophy truck in the Baja 500, and that's it. It was the truck went over bumps quick, and it was great.
Can you hear us okay? Can you hear us? Hello? Hello? Can you hear us? I can hear you. Hello? Hello? Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear us? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Quit clicking mute. First, thank you for being here, Pop.
Okay.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, didn't even buzz.
Hola, hola, hola. Hey, you are a lot.
It's time. All right, sorry. All right, here we go.
It's go time. What kind of backwards pageantry is that? Stay tuned for the one and only Dustin Battleaxe Jones on episode 34.
It's episode 35.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Rocket. The here's the inspiration, by the way.
Ooh, yeah, she's starting to come in good back there.
I'm working on it.
The lettuce is growing. It'll be ready for river season.
Yeah. He said, won't be long, you'll have a skullet going on there.
Yeah, I'm hoping. What do they call that? Is that the Mississippi mudflap?
Yeah, well, that's gonna be like a Texas tailgate probably, because it's mainly just long, no business in the front, just party in the back.
All right. So I lied. I'm not bringing Lauren on the rest of this episode. You know what? Taking over the whole damn show. How about that? However, we will be back very soon with episode 48, and of course, another amazing guest. Who is it? Well, if you're a real race fan, you heard a teaser of his voice right here in the episode. As this episode comes to a close, of course, we need to thank our partners here at Along for the Ride. Not a joke, not a marketing scheme. This podcast would not be possible without Kicker Performance Audio, Bomber Floating Eyewear, the Premix Podcast, Kelsey Morrell Film, and Hey Keeks Marketing. If you want to support the show, support those who support us. It's been a super fun 47 episodes. The numbers are growing, and I'd like to think we're getting better at it. But even if not, we appreciate you guys being along with us. We aren't scripted. We aren't planned out. We're hardly even organized. Kind of a miracle this thing actually happens, to be honest. Thank you again to all those who supported us this year. We see all the comments. We see all the shares. We love the interaction. It's just so fun for us. Keeps us motivated. It keeps us motivated to keep doing it. Try to bring some new people on and, I don't know, get these stories documented. It's not easy to get out of them, but eventually I'm going to get Lauren to talk about his racing career, if it's the last dang thing I do on this show. Because his number is 47, and it's always been real special to him. Lauren's a special guy. That's why we had to do a special episode for episode 47. Anyway, it wouldn't be a Along for the Ride episode without the classic ending line. Mad Dog out.
My dear friend Lauren, you are like a brother to me. Why do I love you? Because you love your wife, your girls, your grandchildren, your friends and family, your work, and the world. You have been such an inspiration to me. Thinking of you today and always. Your friend, Sue Mead.
Just wanted to say how much we love Mad Dog. We love us some Mad Dog. You're one of the hardest working guys I know. You're always the first one in, last one out. You do it with such a great attitude. I really admire and look up to the way your attitude towards work is. You get yourself into some tough situations that you don't just have a good attitude and work your way out of, but you just always seem to prosper and find people that help you and make great friendships out of it. And I just really think that's an awesome thing about you, and you're a good guy. Really like you.
Lauren, I love that you would give your shirt off your back to anybody in need. I love that you can adapt to any situation. We can take you to the fanciest restaurant, and you know what fork to use. I also love your interviews, and I just love the sound of your voice. And you have one smoking hot wife. We love you.
Love you.
Hi, folks. This is Rob McDonald. I'm coming at you from East Central Alberta in Canada. I knew the Mad Dog way back in the day before he was the Mad Dog. Back then, he was just the rabid puppy. Lauren was always a good friend. I knew him up in the Yukon. We hung out together a lot and rode street bikes and got ourselves in a little bit of trouble, but, you know, not too bad. Lauren, I want to congratulate you on the podcast. Along for the Ride is amazing. You and Cole are doing great stuff. I just started watching them a couple weeks ago. I'm already on episode 11. They're great. Wish you all the success, and it's awesome. All the best to you guys.